Hello, fellow gamers. I'm Gloryhoundd, and this is
DrGloryhogg.
And today we're talking about Kickstarters with all of you. Thank you so much for everybody being here today. It looks like we have DrGloryhogg in chat. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. Nosferatu Clown. We have Omar. We have Battlecry. How's everyone doing today? So, we did take a small break.
Well, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a break because you were sick.
I
didn't feel like I got a break. I felt like it was, hey, can you get me some water? Hey. Oh, hi, kitty.
We did.
The cat forgot how this works.
Take a small, what is it, health break? I don't know. Thank you.
It was a nice combination of like getting sick, trying to get you back to not being sick before we got our second COVID shot. Then we got our second COVID shot, and then I was good for the first day. Then I was real sick, and you were like off and on sick for like 3 days. Like, so it was just a nice combination of stuff just coming and coming and coming and coming. Like, it was nuts.
Thank you, everyone. Oh my God, blonde, yes.
They're talking about my hair. I like how you just assume.
Oh, so beautiful.
I'm the one who got a haircut.
Oh gosh.
I got a haircut, and you're over here talking about like, oh, look at my hair, everybody.
This is what my hair looks like before it's another color, everyone. So like, we're in between. We're in between color.
It goes there, and then there's a whole other set of process to get it to the other
And
color.
Since I was sick, it's like it's been stages. So basically, yeah, I got sick. And then there was a struggle to make sure that like I got not sick before our second COVID shot, because you have to like have a 24-hour window. So I was like, quickly get the fever to be fixed. And then we had the COVID shot, in which like
you got the fever again right away.
Super bad fever again.
I didn't for the first 24 hours, and then I got real sick. I was real sick for a good like period of time.
The mirror universe is the evil. No, wait, no, this would actually be the good Gloryhoundd.
I think if I shaved,
let's be honest.
I think if I shaved the beard, she might not let me on the stream anymore.
That's right, you're off the stream.
Yeah, see?
You would look like at least 13, and they don't allow people 13 and under.
The second COVID shot is what did it. It made your hair go white.
Just goes white.
My hair fell off in very strategic places. Wow.
Only if she grows a goatee. Would that make me more evil with the goatee? I don't know.
Definitely look evil.
Super happy too, because we have super awesome games to play with all of you, and I was really, really sad to miss all that time streaming games, because now I feel like, oh my gosh, yeah, I feel like I need to stream like extra just to get through all these games that I want to show all of you.
Because realistically, we usually will get in almost more games than we could possibly stream, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to make choices. So then like to miss streams, it seems like, oh my gosh, now they're just piling up, and so it gets like crazy. Like, how do I make these choices now? You feel like you're cutting, it's like you're voting people off the island, or you're telling people on the lifeboat, we don't have enough water for everybody, and you look the sickest, so I'm sorry, you're out.
So sad. Okay, so that's a good question. If all of you at home had to vote a game off of your gaming shelf that you really liked, obviously, because on your gaming shelf, what game would it be?
No one's going to pick one they like. Everyone has a game on their shelf that they got for like for free or at a discount, or they haven't played it yet. Or, you know, you get it because you're like, oh, I'll play this with my mom. But then you're like, I don't even really like my mom, so I don't want to play with her. You know, something like that. Everyone's got something like that.
Do some makeup streams at 2 a.m., 5 a.m., 8 a.m.
Yikes.
That's hardcore, Omar. I don't know. Maybe if we do like a 24-hour stream thing, that would be fun. I've always thought about doing one of those, but then
I'd be exhausted.
Like, yeah, you get tired.
I don't know if I could know that many game rules in one day.
You get tired. You'd play a bunch of games that you already know. So is everybody ready to talk about Kickstarters today?
There's a few.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Never did I think that our smallest Kickstarter would be like this one, which is at like, what, 300, 400,000, I think, something like that?
We all have big, big Kickstarters this week. Thank you so much, Eric, and hello. King of Tokyo would be banished. Yes, Nosferatu, thank you.
Wow. You can't banish King of Tokyo.
Marvel United, that one would get voted out. Ooh, ouch.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. King of Tokyo, I would play it again, but it's got a spot on my shelf, even if I don't play it for the next 3 years, just because it was like the one. It was my gateway.
Whenever you see the game, you can't vote that one off. Vote Ticket to Ride Europe. Ooh, you all are making tough choices here. Wow.
If I had to pick, oh yeah,
if you're sick, yeah.
You don't call your mom, you're being called out.
Sorry, Mom.
So you want to know the game I would vote off if we had to vote off?
Okay.
Blood Rage because I did vote it off like last month.
You did. Absolutely.
And I like the game. I really like the game. But since we mostly are playing it 2, I don't like it at 2.
Well,
and I get mad at you every time we play it.
Let's talk about It's a Wonderful Kingdom, because we have It's a Wonderful World.
Yes.
Which is, it's not like a precursor to this game or anything, but it has a lot of the same similarities in it. But this is like a 2-player, more compact version of that. Well, not even more compact, because this one I feel like has a lot of the same attributes where you're collecting pieces and you're putting them on all the cards, and then you're trying to make everything work together. But with this one here, it has like a medieval theme to it, and plus it's only 2-player, and then it looks like you put out cards, and then you have to... Gloomhaven, no wait, I can't do it. Sorry, Chad is cracking me up today right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like you put out the cards, and then you can potentially put some of them face down, like with a trap on them, and it could be a trap or it could not be a trap. It could be like a false flag situation. It reminds me a lot of
choosing,
which is not a super popular game, but like Tussie Mussy, where it's like I set it up, and then you have to like I set up the draft the way I want, and then you draft.
Oh, that's a perfect way of describing that.
So it's like I cut, you choose is what they call it in Magic the Gathering, where it's like, you know, you have to make 2 piles, and then I put them down, and then you choose which pile I get to keep. And usually you don't know. Like, do I want to give them the pile that has 3 cards in it, or the pile that has like 1 good card in it that I know for sure I don't want them to have? And that's how they do it in like Magic the Gathering. So it's a very similar system to that, where I cut, but you choose what I get.
And Tussie Mussy is like such a simple mechanic with that, just putting, you know, something face down and like letting people choose and stuff like that, that like it psychs you out. It's like a 50% chance, but that 50% chance like messes you up whenever you're playing. And I love the addition that this brings in It's a Wonderful Kingdom.
Well, I feel like since a Wonderful World's already compared to 7 Wonders, right? And I don't think it's just because of the word wonderful, because it's a drafting game.
Right.
But I think that I like It's a Wonderful World more than 7 Wonders, even though I still enjoy 7 Wonders. And then we like 7 Wonders Duel more than we liked 7 Wonders. So I wonder if this is going to be kind of like that, where it's like, is this going to be a more condensed, cutthroat, thinkier version of It's a Wonderful World that we're just going to play more because it's just for 2-player, it's optimized for 2-player, that's what we mostly play at? Like, is this the next evolution of games, if you will? Because we got rid of 7 Wonders because we had 7 Wonders Duel and we had this game.
Right, and I really like both of those.
Do we get rid of all of them and just get this?
No. I really like 7 Wonders Duel because it's a very... Whenever somebody makes a perfect 2-player game, like, it just works so well because you can take out all of the extra variabilities and you can make it just like that one-on-one.
Very tight.
Exactly. You can make a very, very tight game.
Would you win by like a card?
Right. And so I am never opposed to games only going down to 2 players because that's the majority of gameplay as I have with just me and DrGloryhogg here, right? We both love It's a Wonderful World, and gosh, I don't know if this would make me want to like relieve It's a Wonderful World and just do the kingdom portion, because I really like a lot of the mechanics going on in this. And this is tough. It
seems like they took stuff that they added into like the expansions of It's a Wonderful World 2, which we have and we need to delve into. So I think that might make the decision for you. I think these types of games are always nice to have around if you play a lot of 2-player. But I like that It's a Wonderful World gets bigger. And since we already have 7 Wonders Duel, I wonder if, like, do I need to have all 3? Does that make sense?
That's true, yeah. No, that does make sense, Doctor. So, let's see here. When I'm gone, all my kids are going to have fun trying to liquidate my collection. Yeah, I thought of that, too.
I told her that with my Magic the Gathering cards. I'm like, good luck. Take them to somebody you trust. Get your money back.
Then Andrew says,
that's my life insurance policy.
My girlfriend and I love Duel for a nice, quick game, right? It's so nice and quick. It's just perfectly set up for 2 players. You make really challenging choices in it. Like, I really, really like 2-player games. It's like that solo game experience where, like, it's built around the solo gameplay experience, so it's a super solid experience. Once you get so many other variables involved with so many different players, that's when things can get messy if, like, the math is not done correctly, you know? So let's see here.
It's tailored for a specific experience, which is nice.
Right. My life needs more 2-player games, right? I'm glad all of you agree. Because for real, I really like 2-player games a lot.
Battlecry is going to have his games made into a funeral pyre, so that way it can be seen from space. The lighting of the great games. The game, like, if that
That would be
happens,
so amazing.
if that happened, would it be a situation where they're
That
like,
would be so
and on that
amazing.
day, 5% of all games from the world were burned?
Like you could, like people would just cry watching that, and then like you would feel like vindicated for everything in life in that one singular moment.
We like Duelosaur Island. I don't own it anymore
We
because
played it a bunch.
yeah, I got.
And then we got tired of playing it a lot because we played it a lot.
Let me clarify.
Oh, sorry, you clarify.
Because,
apologies, you clarify. Do I need to zoom in for this clarification? Go ahead.
So here's the thing. We got Duelosaur Island, and so I like learned how to play it. I showed her how to play it. We played it, and then I convinced her to play it like 3 more times that night, and then like 3 times the next day, and then like the next day. And for her, that's a death nail. I will never ever do that again. Because if she plays a game like back to back multiple times in a short period of time, she's done with it then. She's just 100% done. Doesn't want to play it anymore. She's like, I'm never going to want to play that again because I played it so much already.
It feels
Spice of life. You've got to like sprinkle it in.
You need to sprinkle the board games in. I can't play the same board game multiple times in a row or else I get burnt out really fast on it, okay?
It's true. It's true. She does. And it's like that with food too. Like you could love something like Chipotle, but if I get it, like I could eat Chipotle every single day and be fine with it. I wouldn't want to eat it 3 times a day, but I could eat it once a day and be fine. I feel like there's enough mixtures there I can make. But her, if she eats it once, if she eats it like twice in 1 week, that's it. She doesn't want it again for like another month.
But this is like a little engine building portion here. You're going to be collecting things to put these into into play, and then you're going to be able to carry out stuff here on the bottom and everything. Like the gameplay is pretty simple to learn as you go through. Ooh, the other thing here was the other stuff that you can add to this, which was like little adventures and stuff like that, which I thought was really unique. Yeah. Oh,
there's
that was the other
nice
thing.
Modules. You have to go deluxe on this one.
That
the legendary pledge, because it gives you different modules, which I think is really big. Because the thing about a 2-player game is, since they are faster, sometimes you can figure out that puzzle faster. And so having that variability and having like the cool wooden tokens and like the metal trap coins makes it a little bit better.
It's because every order from Chipotle has 0 nutritional value. Wow. It's just all cheese and sour cream, everyone.
That's fair.
So, chat, are you backing this game? I'm really curious. And I'm curious to see if all of you have It's a Wonderful World as well, because I really like that game. And we played it on our channel. Doctor, would you back this game?
I want to back it.
You want to back this?
Yeah.
So this is, okay, I didn't even go through how much this is. This is $37, and then the deluxe portion of it is $61, which I believe the deluxe portion, does that have all of the extra stuff? Ooh, look at these quest modules.
It does. It has like the different quest modules. It has the wooden soldier tokens, and it has like the metal trap coins. Those are things I can think of off the top of my head.
It has this pretty little box cover on it.
That pretty little box.
So beautiful. I have it backed right now, says Jay Peters.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Chipotle soggy packaging peanuts. We were talking about that the other day, for real, when we had Chipotle, and we were like, man, like, it'll soak right through that bowl. Let's see, your big board. Ooh, I didn't realize it had like a big board thing on here. What is this business?
Unlike most 2-player games, which they're made like a really small footprint, I feel like this is going to take about the same amount of space of It's a Wonderful World. Because It's a Wonderful World really is that middle board, and then your little tableau that you build, right? And it still has what I liked about with It's a Wonderful World is that it's procedural, right? You get this first, which then gets this, and if you mess that procedure up, then you just don't get to make those resources, and that's a big part of it.
The art's fantastic on this. Like, the art in It's a Wonderful World was nice, but I'm really digging the fantasy art in this here.
More than the dystopian future?
I don't know. I love dystopian future stuff, too, but, like, I don't know, like this one, it's because it's like creepy art, you know?
Okay.
Like I like the creepiness of the art.
Currently, that's the Sisters of Misery. I don't think it's all creepy art.
Jay Peter says, I currently have all 4 games in your title backed. It's a pricey month. No kidding, Jay Peters. Holy cow. Yeah, Battlecry, get that beacon on for sure. Absolutely. Let's see, your past not capturing my attention. If you don't like little engine building games, like quick engine building games, then it's probably not for you. That's probably fair on this. All right. So I would say...
Because I would back this. It would really depend on how much you think you would play it, though, because you're the determining factor.
I would
play card games to death.
However, I don't know if I'd have room for both in my collection, because, I don't know.
It'd be one of those things where you'd want to try it and then see. See, I like the setup we have now, where we have 7 Wonders Duel, and then we have It's a Wonderful World that we can play with more people.
Okay.
So we have like either option basically if we want.
Either option. Yeah, engine building isn't for me. Looks cool, just not my style. Totally get it. All right, everyone. Moving on. Next up, we have Canvas Reflections, the expansion, and the reprint. We had actually talked about this on one of our previous Kickstarter shows.
Right.
And this is by Road to Infamy Games, which if you're looking for Road to Infamy, they are just R2I. Because I was looking all over like Twitter and Facebook. I was like, where are these people? And I was like, oh,
That
wait.
makes sense.
R2I.
Road to Infamy, I could see that being already taken by somebody.
With this game here, though, what you're doing is you're drafting these cards from the center here, and you are building a little picture. And I thought this was like such a fantastic idea because you have these cards that are like these filmed cards, and you stack them on top of each other, and you actually build a painting along with all of the scoring stuff that you're trying to complete on the bottom portion there. So the bottom portion is the scoring part that you're trying to get together, and then you still are creating this gorgeous painting. And look at that. Okay, first off, hold on, everyone.
Oh, God.
Hold on, everyone. Let's go back. We need to go back for a second. Whoever hung these pictures right here, I need them at my house. How did they get them so straight?
I don't know. It's
For
magic.
real. It is magic. It's witchcraft, okay, everyone?
It's probably one of those, as you've seen on TV style, like, picture hangers that actually works.
The most beautiful picture hanging I've ever seen in my life. I need these people to come directly to my house. I have some pictures that need to be hung because seriously, okay?
That's fair. I hate hanging up pictures. Every time I hang up a picture, I swear it falls within a month. So
let's see
maybe I'm
here.
just bad at hanging up pictures.
So many big titles, but still the most interesting game on Kickstarter for me was Hidden Leaders this month. Ooh, okay. Thank you, Only
Battlecry
Sable.
says they use lasers
For what? For what?
to hang the picture.
Oh, like those little laser things that you put on top there and then it shows you across. I'm going to say that's sus because that just doesn't work for me. I don't know what it is. It was perfect. Like, did they put little chalk prints on the wall and then they did the thing? Like, I don't know.
You're so
that was
obsessed with that.
perfection.
So Canvas is one that I originally passed on because it seems like, it's a puzzle game, right? You're trying to like
dare you.
maximize the puzzle that you're building out in front of you, right? You're like, okay, I need to get this red, this yellow, this blue, this purple, and if I get more purples than her, then I'll win this thing. I'm talking about it in a very abstract form, of course, but that is essentially what it is. And then on top of that, you get like a cool little picture, right? So that's cool. So I passed on originally, but I will admit that the more and more I kept seeing Canvas, like people taking pictures of it and stuff, I was like, oh, we missed out. This game is hot.
Yeah.
People are talking about it. But then it's also one of those games that I don't think plays that well on the channel because it's not like a super exciting experience to watch because it is a puzzle. And typically the games that are more not thinky, but just more puzzly, I feel like just don't do as well. Like people aren't as interested in them.
Perfection.
Stop staring at that one.
I can't stop staring at it.
But
It's
it came back with an expansion that gives you like a whole backside, which changes not only just the picture and the color, but also the different icons on the bottom, which is really big. It came with like an erasable board, I believe, or something. Or I'm sorry, a canvas mats in there. I really like how they did that. It did come with some extra stuff, some extra like gold awards that you can win and everything. So I wasn't sure. I know you were more interested in this one than I was last time. Are you still super interested in this one, or has that changed?
No, I'm still super interested in this one. So now Sriracha says, they're pledged to have them hang photos. I'd pay for that, right? So Just Joe Blog says, didn't get around first time to this and regretted it. Now backing. Still unsure if I want to commit. I have issues. Why? Like, what's holding you back, Just Joe Blogs? Because for me, it was like an instant win. Whenever I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a unique idea having these stack on top. It looks amazing. Other people are going to want to play it with you. I love being able to build them, and sometimes you may have to choose to cover certain things up whenever you're going through. Like, everything seemed like was winning. And plus, you're on that board there, and you're choosing which ones you want. You have to put down, like, your little things, your little tokens, if you want to go further along the line and stuff whenever you're drafting those from the center and stuff. Like, there's a lot of really cool things happening here.
So as I looked at it again, it looks beautiful, but I'm afraid that it's just one of those games that's going to look a lot cooler than it is to actually play for me personally.
Okay.
Because it is just a puzzle where you're like, oh, do I want to stack this one on top of this one, or stack this one on top of this one? We've played games similar to this, and I typically don't like them. Like, we did the boba tea one that was kind of like that, where you stacked on top of stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it, but you really did. So I think this one is more of an abstract players type of game. And I was super excited about it because I kept seeing it on social media and it looked really cool. But then as I look at it, I'm like, man, it's not a $20 game either. It is a more expensive game. It's not super expensive, but if you want the deluxe version of both, I think it's like $80.
Yeah, so this one here, the deluxe version's 80, the regular version is 60 if you want all of it together. If you're just pledging to get the expansions, then it's 25, 35 for the deluxe 35.
Which is interesting though. I mean, because like for 20-ish bucks, I'd be willing, I mean, because like Gloom is cheap, right? And Gloom has a transparent card. So I guess for me, it kind of falls into that category where it's like, it's mostly cards and stuff. Do I want to pay for that deluxe? But apparently everybody else does, because like all the backers
are
deluxe reflections or deluxe both all in. So I don't know. Like I still feel like I have to play it.
Okay, so let's see here. Andrew says, I played this with friends and it's great. A light game before or after a heavy game. So it is a lighter game. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. This is good to play with hardcore gamers as well.
And so I'm at the point where I just don't want any more of those games. I feel like I have enough of those games that are just like entry level.
If it wasn't based on real events, Doctor would like it better.
Maybe.
If it was fantasy canvas making, if a wizard was making this,
maybe
it would be fine. I would say deluxe is not worth the extra 20. Interesting. Okay, Andrew.
Because the cards and stuff you get are the same no matter what. The deluxe is like wood tokens.
It's going to give you wood tokens.
They have like a little canvas stand that you can stack them on and stuff like that.
Which is the most adorable thing ever, because as you're creating your painting, you can put it on the little canvas like in front of you, and you're like, oh, I'm making a ton of painting.
The people that think it's adorable or that they really like abstract puzzle games. I think you're their target market for sure.
Adorable abstract puzzle games. All me. All me.
Yeah. Because like you would pay $20 extra for little canvases, and I'm like, I wouldn't go into a hobby store and spend $20 on little wood chips and like little wood canvases to hang little pictures on. But you would, 100%. I know you would.
How dare you?
I wouldn't. So just different taste, I think. It doesn't look bad, but I do feel like it would be too light. I don't want it to be like Ducks on Toe was kind of like that too, where it had the transparent cards that you were like laying on top of each other.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
Right.
I liked Ducks and Toe a lot, but you didn't like it as much.
You liked it like 75% more than I did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's okay, I'll play it, but I'll never be excited to play it. I'll never be like, yeah, let's play it. I'm going to always be like, yeah, sure, I guess. But I'll play it like as a nice gesture where you're like, oh, you want to play Ducks and Toe? I'll be like, yeah, you've had a really hard day. Sure, I'll play it with you. Or I'll be like, yeah, you did do that one thing that I really enjoyed, so sure, yeah, you earned it. You earned a Ducks on Toe.
They did do, Andrew, an amazing job of having the art line up in both the original and the expansion, and being able to hang them both on the wall. I'm telling you right now, if I had the copy in front of me, I would be hanging it on the wall.
Would you?
Because why wouldn't you? Like, to be able to put the game directly on the wall.
What are you going to put the box?
And then, what?
That's the box.
That is the box. Yeah, you put the whole box on the wall.
You're going to hang a whole game on the wall.
Yeah, and then you're like, hey, you all want to play Canvas? And then you take it off the wall and you're like, ha ha.
The way our kid
This is a board game.
The way our kid like roller derbies through the house, it's going to fall and then all the pieces are going to go everywhere.
Why do you have to put that in my head, Doctor? Why are you a ruiner of my fun?
That's what I do. It does probably look really nice hung on the wall. Yeah, I agree.
Space for hanging games. Wall space, it just means put another Calyx in that room.
That's true.
Right, Andrew? Exactly. You could put it right direct. Look, there's like a hole for it right there.
You could cover up that cat picture. Just take that cat picture out. I mean, I got you that cat picture, but still, you can take that cat picture out.
That picture's amazing. No.
You can take that cat picture just right on out of there.
All right, chat. Are you backing this game? I really want to back this game. I wouldn't mind backing it not at the deluxe level, just to get like the expansion and everything all together, because I'm really excited about this game, and I'm as excited as I was before. I've heard good things from it. I don't know. I think it's just like a really interesting game.
I feel like if you played it, it might change your mind. I think it might be lighter than you think.
Just because it's lighter doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to hate the game. It's because it has puzzle aspects to it, and I can show it to a lot of people, and it seems like a creative thing. So, like,
what?
You're having this fun part of creating this together, like, into a little painting, as well as, like, the scoring portion on it, and I really, really like that.
I want you to say that again.
The creative portion and then the analytical portion of my brain, like.
Just because it's lighter, go ahead and say it to the mic.
I will not.
She is a liar. Liar.
Hello, Hello, Joe Roberts. Yes, this is between colors. It'll be pinker later. Yep, getting the expansion, says Lindsay. You don't think I'll play a bunch?
I think if we got a copy of it to play, that you'd play it once or twice, and then it'd go up on our shelf with our really pretty, our pretty games that we don't play.
Lord Nosferatu says, backed both, no deluxe for me. Backed it, trust me, having a relaxing game makes a difference, right?
We have some, though, and we never play them.
How dare you?
We never play a relaxing game.
How dare you?
When's the last time we played Arboretum?
Yeah, but you don't like playing Arboretum. But we've played Gloomy Graves and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll play Gloomy Graves right now.
And we've played Why First.
Right? Those aren't relaxing games, though. Those just like kind of like what you call like a filler game, right? Like an in-between game.
Is this not your filler game?
I don't need another one then. You've already said I will play.
Wow. All right. All right, Dr. G's. Moving on. Oh, would you back that? No?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I would like to back that, everyone.
I'm definitely way
would.
more interested in It's a Wonderful Kingdom.
All right. Moving on, we have Marvel United X-Men. This is by Spin Master Games and CMON Games. Wow, that popped up like perfectly for me. This is based off of their original sort of Marvel United game and then has an X-Men theme on it. However, in this one, and if I'm wrong, let me know, everyone. In this one, somebody can play a one versus many campaign where you can play as the bad guy.
Yeah, you can play.
Can you do that in the other one?
I didn't think
you could. But like that alone, I'm like, what? What? I can be the villain? Hold on. That excites me. Just as it is right there. To be the villain.
But nobody
to play
else
against
is
everybody
excited.
else.
It's just you.
Just me. Just me.
Just
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Let's see. Joe Robert says, I have it really nice. Gave it to my art teacher's son-in-law. Ooh, that was a good choice, Joe. Only played it on TTS. Decent. I imagine it would definitely be better in person. Like a welcoming game. Absolutely.
Good welcoming game. Okay. See, and I think we should try it on Tabletop Simulator. And if you still
TTS,
love it, then that's a different situation.
All right. Okay, everybody. You know what? Just flood me with all the X-Men feels right now.
So, just for the minis alone. Like, if the Marvel one was bad, X-Men is even worse for me. X-Men is the only... So, like we've talked about, I did not read comics, like, ever, really. I've read a few graphic novels, but I never really followed a storyline. But I did watch, like, every single episode of X-Men, like the cartoon show, and I followed all the Ninja Turtle cartoon shows. So, X-Men is one of those things. And seeing this, I'm like, and I've watched every X-Men movie they put out. I mean, we watched The New Mutants last week. I did it during my COVID fever where I was like...
We're like shivering?
Yeah, I was shivering from like
let's watch the X-Men.
My reaction to the antidote where I was just like, and I was like, let's watch New Mutant. And I'm seriously like under 2 covers in Arizona.
You're like this is so spooky.
Shivering, and I was like, oh, there's a big bear in it. Oh, God. I was like, who's that girl? She's made out of magic. Is that the girl from Queen's? Is that the woman from Queen's Gambit?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I love X-Men. And like I said, I own every X-Men movie, I think, except for New Mutants. And they're not good. Let's be honest. Most X-Men movies are not good. Okay? They came in a different time. They came before Marvel hit and showed that you can actually have a successful Marvel movie. Well, I liked First Class.
Here you go. Luke is doing it right. A guy in my game group is going all in, so I don't have to back this one. Yay! Good job, Luke.
Smart. There's a lot of really cool guys in here. So let me say this. The price point for this game is $65. But that is a lie. Because if you grew up watching the TV show, there's no way you can't get, what is it, Group B? Or what do they call it? Group Blue? The Blue Group or whatever? The group that has Gambit, Rogue, and Jubilee in it? How could you not include that in the core box?
Yeah.
Like, if you are a fan of all of the TV show, there's no way you can play it without Gambit and Rogue. No way.
You can't.
Jubilee, I'm sorry. But Gambit and Rogue, I'm not doing it. Those are like my favorite characters. That was it. That's like the king and the queen in chess right there, man. Gambit and Rogue. And to be fair, Gambit's the queen, and Rogue is definitely the king.
Yeah.
Or I guess maybe the other one. I don't know.
Rogue is the king because she'd whoop some. She'd whoop you,
man,
like everyone.
How could they do that to you? It's like when they did the ones for Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're like, you can get Groot, and Rocket, but you can't get Drax unless you do this. And I'm like, what? Like, you can't break the team up. You can't break the team up.
Doctor, it was me this week, right?
Yeah. You can't break the team up.
I should have notified all of you for the incoming rant happening.
So mad. When I looked at it, I was like, okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And then I saw it and I was like, yeah, it's at least a $95 game. Because that's if you get the blue group or whatever they're calling it and the base game. So bare minimum, it's $95. Well, $100 is the other pledge. And then there's so many different add-ons and it gets very intense. And so I 100% understand people go, there's so many add-ons, I'm out.
So once again, if you are interested in this game, make sure and back it on Kickstarter to get all of the exclusives. Like, that's the way to do it if you're going to go ahead and if you are interested in it, you know, because there's so many extra Kickstarter exclusives. They also have in this game anti-heroes, which get to play as the hero or as the villain in the game, which is really cool. I see you.
Well, so Unstable said they want to try Marvel United first. I would 100% recommend that because we played it. We thought it was enjoyable, but it was probably the lightest co-op game we had played in a long time. And so it didn't stay in our collection. It wasn't a bad game.
No, it wasn't a bad game at all.
We could see why people would like it.
Yeah.
It felt like lighter than Pandemic to me. So for me, I was like, okay, if I'm going to play a co-op game, I've got all these really big, massive, immersive games or like really exciting dice chucking games that I was just like, or detective mystery style games that I was like not going to play this. Although I love the minis, and I almost decided just to get rid of the game and just keep just the minis, but she said that was mean and I should just sell the whole thing.
You can't do that, yeah.
But I wanted just to keep the minis. And I get not everybody likes chibi and everything else like that, but I don't mind chibi, and I love these miniatures. I would just buy a set of the core people for these miniatures. It's just like with Lego. For the longest time, Lego, I stayed away from all their Marvel Legos because I just wanted like the little minifigs instead. And I was like looking to see how much it would cost just to buy the minifigs. And it is cheaper in a lot of ways, but you end up just buying everything. And
this is their new Arcadia Quest is what this is, for sure.
But Arcadia Quest is more complicated than this game. Like, there's more to Arcadia Quest.
Okay, so here's my thing, everyone. I feel like having the one versus many option is going to fix some of the issues that I personally had with it being like a lighter game and, you know, the bad guy's moving around in a way that he's moving around. It's not like insanely intelligent, but it is in an AI way that they're moving around the board and stuff like that. Having somebody directly challenge you for certain things in the board, like having that other player, I feel like would help up that challenge factor of it. And I don't know, just make it a little bit more interesting.
I'd have to see how much control you actually have as the archenemy, though. Like, is it just you picking which cards you play, or do you get to like draw two cards? Do you pick which one you play?
I don't know, right?
I think that's going to be a big factor of it. And then the blue team, that's it. You have to have the blue team.
You have to have the blue team, absolutely.
And then Mr. Sinister, too. Come on, you have to have the blue team.
What was everybody's favorite X-Men character growing up? What was your favorite
Everyone's
X-Men?
answer is going to be Gambit or Wolverine.
Rogue? Oh.
That's it. I know you liked Phoenix.
I liked Rogue and Storm and Phoenix, yeah. Well, I mean, that's like everybody.
We did when we went to Phoenix Comic-Con.
Was the best, though.
When we went to Phoenix Comic-Con, we actually got, which is just because Arizona-based, not based off of X-Men, we got a caricature, and I was Wolverine and you were Phoenix.
That's right. It was so good.
Because those were the two that should have gotten together. Let's just be real. Scott Summers, he never had a chance.
Play Hella. She's tough. Let's see her. There's a lot to play through. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Like, so much stuff.
And we played the base game of Marvel United. We did not play the all-in Kickstarter one with all the different characters. We played the one that comes in Walmart, like, you know, or that you get in any kind of big box store.
I like this mat. They did a good job with this mat right here.
More from the 90s cartoon?
Ah, terrible. Jim, why would you? How dare you? That one episode he was in.
The one episode. Yeah, that was great going back to that cartoon.
And you know what? Have they talked about Deadpool yet? Because I'm assuming that Deadpool's going to show up.
I was kind of sad that Colossus doesn't show up unless you get one of the add-ons too. Colossus is one of the add-ons that you have to get too, so it's like a whole nother deal.
I had not looked through all of them. I did not realize that Kitty Pryde was not on here yet. Let's see here. Did I miss the Canvas section? I have the base game and interested in the expansion. You did, Dan. We just finished talking about it. Do you like Canvas? Can you let us know?
Well, he just said he's interested in the expansion.
Well, I know, but like...
Obviously, he liked it.
Is it hanging on your wall? I haven't seen it hanging on your wall yet.
Well, there you go. That solves the problem. We can go to Dan's house and try it.
Deadpool is the big bang at the end. Yes.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
As soon as they teased that there, because if you keep on watching the video as it goes through, I think I scrolled by it before it's finished. There's like a little thing at the end of it. So, see, I told you I was going to like Canvas. If Dan likes it, I'm going to like Canvas.
Then go play it with Dan.
How dare you?
Yeah, just borrow Dan's copy. She has this impression that she has to own every single board game.
I gotta go see Dan today.
Even if it doesn't get played for 3 years, but we have to own it just in case.
Did you see the translucent Iceman in the gold box? So cool.
I didn't see that.
That's another thing. I really like what they're doing with the characters, and like behind the Phoenix, you have like that fire and stuff like that you can see. Like, I like how they're upping their miniature level stuff here. Like, it's gonna look amazing when they're all painted and they have crazy fire and stuff behind them. Look at they
Legion.
have like the little water here behind here.
Legion's such a crazy character too. And I know people are freaking out about Weapon X. Weapon X.
Okay. Bottom line. If you have not played Marvel United, like the Avengers edition, I think you can pick that up at Walmart for like $30 or something like that. So
it's available at like your big box, like
right.
retail.
You can go down to your big box retail store, play it, see if you like the gameplay, and then if you really, really love X-Men, like go all in on this and
I think it's definitely
do what
worthwhile,
you want to do and stuff like that. Because the way to get this is on Kickstarter, because you get so many Kickstarter exclusives. As a note, though, I always say with these CMON Kickstarters, the base game will probably be available in stores before you receive your copy, because you're getting all those lovely, lovely extra miniatures out there and stuff. And
but
whoever's
with
going
CMON, you have to back it like
all
on
in,
Kickstarter, because you just get so many exclusives.
Send us a message so we can go ahead and come over to your house and play it.
That's fair.
Because I don't know if I can spend the money to go all in on this, and I don't know if I really want to do the one versus many gameplay on this, but I don't know if that's gonna like completely solve like the issue I had with it just being like a little too light for me, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like a lot of people said, a lot of the complexity comes with the other expansions, but I didn't get enough of what I liked in the base game to really make me want to get the expansions and spend the money, because it is a big price, right? I mean, you're going into it.
It is, yeah.
It's not cheap. I mean, you could compare this, like, so they're showing you there, the Ultimate Classic Bundle is $220, right? I mean, that's Monster Hunter prices for the whole game.
Oh, yeah, and we still have to talk about Monster Hunter, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, let us know in chat who is backing this so we can come over to your house.
I would give it a shot again. I liked the game enough that I would play it again. I didn't like it enough to have it on my shelf permanently.
I would play it again. I would try it again.
The games are really fighting for spots
especially
on
with
the
the
shelf
one
right
versus many. Like, I'm really excited about that portion of it. Hello, Kabuki Kid. How are you doing? All right. There's like too many amazing things in this. You should just go look. It looks amazing. I like the X-Men better than the Avengers.
Yeah,
like,
I have a stronger.
I just do.
I have a stronger connection with X-Men than I did the Avengers, because it's childhood stuff from there.
Even if you go all in, you can easily get rid of it. That's fair. Some people miss out on it, and usually if you come right off of Kickstarter and it's still delivering and stuff like that, and you end up not liking it, you can unload it pretty fast, because all of those minis that people are not going to be able to get anywhere else, yeah, like, it's a lot of minis. Like, it just
and it just depends on who you're playing with. The games that I want to play when I'm playing games with her is going to be stuff like Frostpunk and, you know, Curse of the Last Empire Uprising, like these really big, like, 2-hour co-op games.
So, okay, first, Andrew says, I wanted something lighter so I can play with the girlfriend on the weeknights when we are too tired for long games. This is perfect for that sort of thing, because that fits right into this. Xavier Game says, I went all in on the Kickstarter and sold it for almost double. I could see that.
Whew.
I can see that. It's going to be popular.
I'm not into board games to make money, for sure.
Hit the tables, and people are going to want it. They're going to play it at other people's houses. Like, yeah, I could see that. Absolutely.
I know a lot of people do that, where they back it and then they try to flip it, but I also had one friend that had like an all-in Rising Sun for like 4 years and then like didn't even make I think he barely made what he
What
paid
he had got
for
for
it.
it, yeah.
Or maybe $20. Then he had to go to like 9 different
It's all
board
about the
game
right
sales to sell it, though.
It's all about the right game, though, you know? Like, you
Right.
gotta get the right game. It's like playing the lotto a little bit.
Yeah,
You have
this
to
one
be...
I could see would be at least easy to get your money back on for sure, even if you've
Mhm.
opened it and everything.
Can you mix this with the Avengers? I couldn't find it anywhere. I would assume so, just because a lot of the iconography and stuff like that is exactly the same. But I also did not see anything about it either, Patrick. I didn't see anything that specifically referenced it. I know
You can't mix mutants and heroes.
Well, if they're going as far as like the Arcadia Quest sort of route with it, they made everything integrated. And I don't see why it wouldn't, you know, because like all of the icons and stuff are going to be the same for everything. Like it's the same game, except with a different skin and some additional rules for new stuff that they've added to it, you know? Let's see here. Note to self, play Lotto. Helpful.
So both Andrew and Jim are saying yes, you can mix and match.
Okay, that's what I figured, because like why wouldn't you? Like that would be kind of cool.
It would be a big miss to not.
Of superhero comics, X-Men was the one I read, but I have an aversion to the super deformed minis.
That's fair.
Some of them are a tiny bit
like
weird.
little chibi babies.
Some of them are little. I like a lot of them.
I'll tell you what, they're a lot more endearing if you think of them as actually just being alive in that size. Like just think of these little mini guys running around, like a little mini Wolverine, be like, "Hey, bub," and he's like this big. You know, he's got a big head and stuff that you can just pick him up by his big head while he's going, "Yeah, snick, 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 snick it," and you're just like, "Look at him, look at him, look at this little guy," and you put him down.
And as usual, I cannot wait to see all the amazing painters out there paint these.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna be jealous. It's gonna happen. Like, I personally didn't super like Marvel United, the very first game, but this just makes me want to back it because it's an entity I love. Like, that's just kind of where I'm at with this.
There's always that, right?
So much of this, I'm just like, oh, I love that so much. And I'm like, I keep telling myself, no, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't even really like the game that much. Don't do it. But then I'm like, but I could like the game if I was Jean Grey. I could. Maybe.
So you back this huge game to play one character? I mean, that's how it would be too. I mean, to be fair, I'd be paying $30 to play Gambit. So.
Oh, what's the difference between a superhero and a mutant? A superhero is like someone who does something for the public, and a mutant's just your average Joe on the side of the road with some powers.
I like to think that a mutant, it's like genetic, that it's just something that kind of happens to them. Where superheroes, some of them like had an accident. Or they're self-made superheroes.
So genetics versus...
Because Batman's considered a superhero, but he's like, he doesn't have powers.
Better outfits, says Battlecry. That's touche. Better outfits as well. Yeah, very true. Very true. Back. So Petter is backing this. Who else is backing it? Let us know. Doctor.
I'm not surprised that Petter's backing this. What?
Would you back this campaign?
No.
I feel like I was asking you to marry me there for a second. Doctor. Like with the little chibi mini, would you back this campaign?
I'm sorry, my rose goes to...
No!
Yikes. So sorry.
Petter, we waited for like 2 weeks and like, what the
Petter.
heck?
You know, honestly, for $260, I could probably pay for a plane ticket to fly to somebody's house and play their copy.
Right now, yes, because I mean... They have some great deals on Southwest right now.
So there you go. Problem solved.
So Andrew is backing. Nosferatu is backing. Let's see here.
Superman would be... I think
he's an alien.
Yeah.
He's not a superhero or a mutant. He's an alien.
He's technically an alien, yeah. But he is closer to a mutant than just a superhero, I would agree. He's closer to a mutant.
This is getting technical. Mutants have... the X Factor chromosome or something.
So wait, does that mean that Jedis are like basically mutants because they have midichlorians?
No. They have midichlorians? We're not getting involved in this conversation.
Oh, the midichlorians are so strong. I feel the power.
Next up, we have Monster Hunter World. This is by Steamforged Games. It's for 1 to 4 players. This is a cooperative game. This is based off of a video game. Based off of a video game.
I like how you're and this is based off of a video game. I don't know if you guys are aware that there's games you can play on your TV.
It's true. On, you know, the Xbox and the PlayStation and sometimes the Nintendo, okay?
Well, there you go. See, Kabuki says mutants get their powers with puberty. Uh-oh, but didn't was Superman strong as a baby?
He was.
Okay, well then that doesn't count then.
That tantrum that Superman would throw would just be not good at all. Not good at all. So I know a lot of people were really, really excited to see this game. Like some of you were holding off, pledging on other things in order
to get this
game.
Monster Hunter World is like a Borderlands or a Sky, like, you know, an Elder Scrolls, or it's a very big multiple game video game series, right? That's got multiple sequels and expansions and all that business.
And real quick, I want to know why all of you really, really wanted to back this particular game. Like before this even came out, like I want to know, boom, like why was your drive so high on this? Go ahead, Doctor.
I think it's because people have played this video game, right? Like, I mean, to be fair, I knew that the Fallout board game was considered not very good, but I still bought it when I saw it on sale because I like Fallout. And I was like, well, worst case scenario, I'll keep the minis out of it. If I throw away everything else, I'll keep the minis and put them on my shelf at my work desk or something, you know, because I like the characters in that game. So I think that's the big thing. The little boards, the little circles on the board is where your characters go. Like when the monster does its AI action, it'll say like move
be
down
the little actions,
and left, and then like stomp, and it'll follow those little circles.
I feel like this one, now I've never played Monster Hunter before, so
the video game.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of the loop on that. But I just from going through like the gameplay of this, it does feel like video game-ish. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it has
a video game
very
feel to it. Yeah, exactly.
It's very faithful to what it's been adapted from. This is, you know, sometimes you're kind of almost happy that you're not in a sphere, right? Like, so I'm kind of glad I'm not like in the Harry Potter sphere because you could spend 3 life savings getting all this Harry Potter stuff, right? So I'm kind of glad because I know I've spent like, I don't want to talk about how many hundreds of dollars I spent on Lord of the Ring Legos. So I'm glad I'm not into Harry Potter because then I can spend another couple $100, right? I am kind of glad that I was never into Monster Hunter because that doesn't draw me at all. So then I'm just looking at just off the gameplay.
Looking at just gameplay.
Yeah, so I can compare this versus Primal more easily because I don't have an affiliation to either one of them. I don't know the stories behind either one of the games. I just know what the minis look like, how much it costs, and what the gameplay looks like.
So only Sable's in the same boat. Never played the video game, but this is something I'm looking for. Who was it? Oh, Jay Peters. I'm going to make a battle royale of the Monster Hunter monsters versus the Primal monsters. That would be amazing. You make sure to record that so we can see it. Let's see here. Patrick says, it seems like Dark Souls 2.0. Let's see here.
Yeah, a lot of people are not. So Steamforged Games has like kind of a hit or miss record where some people really enjoy their stuff and other people don't. They tend to be, their IP games at least seem to be a little bit lighter, less
well, that's for a reason.
Gameplay. It's meant for, this board game, guys, was meant for video gamers, like, and I'm not saying that to be dismissive of video gamers, but it was meant for people that are used to video games, so they set it up like a video game would.
So, okay, this is a good, like, the difference between board gamers and video gamers is that video gamers are used to being fed kind of what to do.
There's more of a tutorial for most video games.
Well, not just a tutorial, but just fed things in general.
Like there's a way marker.
There's way markers, there's quests, there's like, oh, talk to this one. You could actually play a video game and not like use any of the dialogue and still play it the video game. You know, like you don't actually have to know what's happening.
You don't really have to deduce much in most video games.
Board games, they're more like, if I do this thing, then this thing happens, and that thing happens. They're more puzzly, you know? And that puzzle is not fed to you. That puzzle is made with your choices because there's lots of ways to get to that end point. And that's the fun of it, you know? So, like, making a game in between that where it's light enough, where people are being fed things in a certain way for video gamers, but having enough like in-depth mechanical gameplay to make enough choices that it seems like grandeur can be really, really hard.
There's very few that can do it, I think.
Right, absolutely. So let's see. Rainer says
it's better with an app-based game, honestly, than it is with like a traditional video game.
That's true. My interest in Monster Hunter was due to a friend who loves the series, and in fact, that it is a good co-op action-adventure game. I'm gonna have to check out the game because I love action-adventure games, and especially cooperative ones that I can play with the doctor.
I know that Mr. Ozdu is saying something that I've heard many times. They really like Steamforge's games that they make on their own versus the ones they make with a specific IP attached to it. And I can definitely understand that, all right? I mean, if you looked at Marvel United, but you stripped away the Marvel, and it was just generic fantasy-based people like a knight, a queen, and stuff like that. Would that be as exciting? Would you want to still play it without the Marvel tied into it?
Well, and
the knight uses the lance twice and then moves one.
Right.
Would that even be exciting to people, or would it just not if you stripped away that heavy theme and all the backstory you already have in your head, right? That you've already have built in interest.
I really like the miniatures on this one. I know that we went ahead and I believe we backed Primal, but I really like the miniatures in this one. Like the dragons and stuff.
Say it again?
I thought we backed Primal, didn't we?
You believe? You're unsure?
I don't remember what we backed anymore.
Are you unsure? Hey, look me in the face. You're unsure? You're not sure if we backed it?
What?
There's a question to if we backed it. I gave you cash money. What do you mean, did we back it?
I probably backed it then.
I was about to leave. I was just about to get up.
It's okay, Doctor. It's okay.
You can't do that to me.
It's okay. I'm sure I backed it. I'll go back and check.
I think we did. This game that will probably never come out again. I think we backed it. I hope so.
I don't think we went all in on Primal because...
No, we didn't. I think we did the base.
We knew Monster Hunter was coming out. We knew there was a bunch of other games coming out. So I think we did the base, and then we ended up where we were going to choose like one other one or something like that to add to it.
The base was good enough that we thought that there'd be enough gameplay in it that if we really loved it and we thought we were like overplaying all the monsters, we could get into more. But I mean, there's lots of games we have. We got Tainted Grail, Journeys to Middle Earth. I mean, we have a lot of games. I mean, My City, we have a lot of kind of campaign games that are in the middle somewhere that we haven't played to death. Like, we haven't even finished all of our Arcadia quests, you know?
Here's a good note here.
So sometimes you don't want to go all in. There's so much.
So Luke says, I backed Primal and Townsfolk Tussle, and most Monster Hunter World content is going to retail, so I can pass on the Kickstarter. Totally understand. Absolutely. Mama got a new wardrobe. Who cares about Primal?
There's a reason why we eat at Chipotle and we have T-shirts from T-Turtle. It helps us buy board games.
On sale. Shirts, okay? Only on sale shirts. But I really like the figures in here.
This actually, Monster Hunter World just makes me want to go back to Primal and like back expansions in Primal.
So these characters here actually look like they would be like monster hunters. Like they're beefy characters that are like I don't want this person shooting a bow at me. Like this looks serious. This is serious business with this bow here. Whereas I feel like the Primal character was like up on one leg and like, weren't they like up on one leg like?
Yeah, but they also had like a bow bigger than them too. It was huge. And they had like gun
Yeah, but I'm just saying like, I feel like this one feels like grittier with like the characters, you know? And like the monsters and everything, where the other ones were more fantasy feeling. Except this guy. This guy looks like you could talk to him. Like he looks like a friend.
He looks like an iguana with a bad haircut.
He's like a good friend. He's gonna sell me some wares later on.
Bad haircut iguana wants to hang out with you. Maybe listen to some Marley.
Looks like he saw something and he got surprised by it. He was like, oh my gosh, no way, it's my birthday.
That's the look I'm gonna have whenever Primal gets delivered. Is right there. I'm gonna go. Just like that. Just like that.
Oh,
that's my face every time I step on a Lego. Just angry, hurt, upset.
This guy just likes to laugh. He's like,
that's more from X-Men.
Why are we like this?
Why are you like this? Yeah, if you want to compare...
Laughing. He has squinty eyes, but he's like rustic. I don't know.
If you want to compare base games, I mean, because of course it'll get compared against Primal. If you want to compare base games, you can actually have a full experience of the base game of Primal. I don't feel like you're getting a full experience. What is it, like 4 dragons you get with this one? Like 4 monsters with the base game of this one? That's like nothing. That's not enough.
Not enough monsters.
Even though there's different levels to it and stuff.
When you're hunting the monsters, we're going to kill the monsters too fast. And on this one here, though, they are talking about, though, that the monsters are going to be controlling the flow of the gameplay in this. So, like,
because the monsters move more.
Yeah, they're going to be controlling more of the action.
Spin around.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
But also, this one is more straightforward because your cards are like do damage or like block. It's not like if I do this, plus this, I'll do like maximum damage. It's like this will do 3 damage. I feel like this game I'm going to sit here with a handful of cards and go, do I want to do 2 damage now? Or do I want to do 3 damage now and save this 2 damage for later? Or is it better to save this 3 damage for the second turn? I'm gonna do 2 damage now and save this 3 damage card. Like I feel like it's definitely much more linear gameplay.
Petter says that there's 4 monsters and 4 hunters, and then it turns into a game of Cinder.
That's not, oh, they outdate?
Yes.
I like that. I don't think, this is kind of like Zombicide versus Dead of Winter, right? So I feel like this is Zombicide, where it's just more straightforward what you're doing. Like there's a pretty clear path.
Okay.
And then Primal is more like a Dead of Winter, where you're like, I want to do this, but then if I do this, I have to worry about this.
And this thing's happening over here.
But then if I do this, oh god, now they're through the barricades because I didn't pay enough attention over here. So there's just more things you have to control in Primal. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more fidgety. Like it's going to be harder to keep track of everything because there's more stuff. But this is going to be a more relaxing gameplay where you're just like, yeah, let's go beat up the monster, and then like we beat up the monster. Where I feel like with Primal you'd be like, we survived that monster and we killed it, but you're going to really feel more like it was a tougher battle overall.
That's like, now if you could romance the dragons, now I'd be there for that. Petter, you would, Petter.
Yeah, and see, Xavier is right. Like a lot of these campaign games are impossible to finish. So, but I think 4 is still not enough. I think if this had 8 monsters, sure,
that would be like.
It's probably more than most people need, but it still feels like you've got a good variety. I've also heard there's not as much variety in the way these monsters do things. Like they're just more predictable in general. Like you just kind of know what they're going to do. And so like, and then the monsters just feel like, okay, now I'm fighting a dragon. Now I'm fighting a feathered dragon. Now I'm fighting a T-Rex dragon.
Oh, see, okay, there you go. Mr. Ozdu, that was a bloody good comparison, Hogg. I think I agree, but don't get this game thinking you're getting the Monster Hunter experience. Absolutely, if you want Monster Hunter, go play the video game. And then,
and I think that's it.
This is going to be a dabble in board games with Monster Hunter IP on top.
I think this just makes me want to go check out one of the Monster Hunters that I can get for like $20 from like, GameStop or some used market or something instead, and try that and get to play it, the video game, the way it was meant to be played, where Primal was a board game straight from the very beginning. It was meant to be a board game. It was never like we're trying to change something into something else.
I like this.
Because that puts restrictions on stuff, and that makes it tougher.
So Only Sable says, went all in on Primal, going all in on Monster Hunter 2. Boss battler themes just pull me in. I'm not sure I ever have the time to master both. Totally get it. But I would be interested to hear, once you've actually got them together and played them, like what your opinion was on both of them together, because that would be amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Rex. Thank you. Let's see here. Catching up on your stream. I'm backing X-Men, Gambit, and Playable Bad Guys. Sealed the deal. Right?
Yeah, okay.
Right? That's 100% it. You have to get those characters.
Even just the $65 is a great value on this Kickstarter. The base game plus 20 heroes, plus 3 playable anti-heroes, and 9 villains. No, you can't compare. CMON has a reputation for just giving you like too many minis, and it's not too many because we all want them, but it's not as it feels like it is too many, where you're like, this is a lot of miniatures. Where this game is going to give you 4, and you're like, cool, 4 of them. I feel like I could actually paint Primal, or paint this 4 heroes
you're
and
like,
4 bad guys. I get that done. Now you talk about Arcadia Quest, and I'm like looking at like 190 miniatures. That's like, those aren't going to get painted. But if it's just 4 and 4, I could get 4 and 4 knocked out.
You pay somebody to get all those painted.
What is that, like $15?
Yeah.
Bro, you can. Our buddy Tim could get out there with his airbrush and probably knock it out like in less than a day and be like, here's your miniatures.
Some of the people are so fast. They're so good.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. Let's see here. We do a 24-hour stream. You should include some online games with your patrons, like Wingspan, Switch on Catan. That would be great fun. Ooh, yeah, we've thought about doing that before. Like, being able to go ahead and pull in people with specific games that we would want to play like that on either like Tabletop Sim or on like Switch and stuff like that, because I'm getting together a small collection of games, or on the phone, or
we've got a decent amount. Plus there's the Board Game Arena, Tabletop Simulator,
We've
there's all the different ones.
Thought about doing a Chronicles of Crime one here coming up soon, where it's like an active thing where our audience gets to help solve the mystery with us and everything. That would be amazing, though. We might have to do that soon. But Doctor and chat, would you back this game?
I don't.
Are you sold on it? Look at this Elder Dragon.
I think
he's like,
it's hard to quantify why, but I was like so excited by Primal.
I was.
That I don't have that same excitement for this one. I don't feel like it's given me as much. I feel like it's going to just be more streamlined gameplay. I want the complexity that comes with the card play and how you're using your cards in Primal more. I think I'm just so much more excited about Primal. It doesn't mean it's not bad.
Right, absolutely.
Doesn't mean it doesn't have a place in a lot of people's... But since I don't have a tie to the IP, there's no reason for me to back this one over the other one when I feel like I'm getting just overall more. And it doesn't feel like it's the great value brand of it either. It doesn't feel like I'm getting like some knockoff brand of something specific. It feels like I'm just getting a really good fleshed out game, where this one feels like I'm getting a tiny slice of
game
of this game that
a lot
everybody
of
else
IP
loves.
that's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
That I just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's understandable. You have to pick the games that are going to match you and your gameplay. Like, just because we don't particularly like that style of gameplay and everything doesn't mean that you're not going to. Like, we didn't particularly like Marvel United, but there's like 2,500 or 2,600, who knows how many hundreds of people out there that obviously liked it a lot. So, like, that's not us to be like, bad, that game was bad. Well, no, it's for certain people.
And everything changes, too. Because, like, when we first started off, King of Tokyo was about as deep as I wanted to get into anything. King of Tokyo, Munchkin were, like, the only things we were playing. Red Dragon Inn, Smash Up.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. Now, I don't want to really play any of those style of games as much anymore, because it's almost like the puzzle's too easy to figure out, or it gets predictable. Where, I mean, obviously, Dice makes it unpredictable for King of Tokyo. Is the only reason why we still have that one. Where a lot of the other ones, we've moved on, because they're just predictable at a certain point. I don't want entry-level co-ops. I think we're past that stage. We don't have our Forbidden Island anymore. We don't play Pandemic anymore. We played the Legacy versions, but we don't play regular Pandemic anymore. I think we've moved on from all of our entry-level cooperative games, unless they're super story-based, like Mice and Mystics. And even then, that one is only in our collection because the kid wants to play it.
Right.
And once we've played through it, it's probably gone. I want crunchy... It's kind of like when you play video games. There's some video games you can play where you play it on, like, say, easy or story mode, and you feel powerful like a god. You're running around and you're like, axe to that guy, and blow that guy up, and throw a grenade, and everyone gets exploded. You're like, yeah! And then there's the video games you play like Dark Souls or something, where you're like, I'm going to die. Oh, God, I'm going to die. Oh, run. There's a very big difference between playing a video game where you're running around going like, blah, 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 and another one where you're going, blah, 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 run, and you're like, go, and you're trying to just escape, and you're hiding behind a rock waiting for your shield to come back, and you're like, They're different style of video games, and the board games are the same way. I'm at the point where I want a board game, I want to lose. I want that to be a real possibility where I'm like, I could lose this. If I wouldn't have done this the way I did that last turn, we would have lost, and that's what I want in my co-op games right now.
Okay. Absolutely. I agree. Like, I've always leaned more towards that side of things a little bit more, I think. So,
yeah, where you're like, I'm going to probably lose a few of these. I like to win, but as long as I'm winning 1 out of 3, that's a good ratio for me. I'm like, all right, yeah. I don't want it to be like 1 out of 10 that I win, because then I'm like, this is too hard. But, you know. So
Jay Peter says, I have issues because I like all styles of games and wish I had some styles I didn't like. That's fair. And Kabuki Kid says, Spirit Island sort of fired Pandemic for me, and I kind of feel the same with that. I would much rather play Spirit Island than Pandemic, but Spirit Island, it's longer to get back into. Like, you have to be like, all right, I got to remember how this game works. But
I could drop into Pandemic in like 10 minutes and be like, oh, yeah,
just more satisfying. And that we did. We ended up keeping Spirit Island over Pandemic because we're more willing to learn those longer games a little bit more often, I think.
Yeah.
Than the lighter games. So, yeah, I mean, it's totally up to all of you out there.
Yeah, something that I've really become aware of as I've seen more and more and talked to more and more people this year, I am lucky in the fact that I have a gaming spouse that likes the same type of games for the most part. Like, we have a lot of, like, you go abstract where I go more of like Ameritrash, like narrative, dice chucking than I do. But we have the same crossover in a lot of our games, the ones that are like in that mid to high, right? And so I'm like medium weight to high, and you're more like high weight to medium weight, where you prefer.
So we get to meet in the middle?
Right. And so we do pretty good in that kind of in-between range, right, of complexity, which is lucky that it works out that way, because if, like, you weren't a super heavy gamer, if I wasn't, that would make this tougher. And maybe this is the only way I could get you to play, or maybe this is the way you could get me to play because I played the video game. If you've got a kid that plays Monster Hunter and you want to get them into board games, get
that's
this
the way
game.
to do it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's how you get them into it. I mean,
get them off the consoles and like get them to the table with stuff like that.
You don't think I've looked at every single Minecraft game just to try to get my kid to play more board games with us? Like I am willing to play almost anything to get my kid to play with us. I think would be a great way to do that. It just depends on what you're looking for. And if out of the two, I want the more complex adventure. And I think Primal, The Awakening, is more complex. For us, I believe so as well. So I leaned harder on that one. And I liked the grittier like people in the Monster Hunter, but I liked like the fantasy dragons in Primal, if that makes any sense. There was a big variety in Primal too. Like there wasn't just dragons. It was like, oh, here's like some creature worm from underneath the ground. Here's some feathered serpent. Here's like some giant turtle. Like they feel like they were very different creatures. One versus many in this game in Monster Hunter would have been amazing. If they would have been able to add extra gameplay in like that with a one versus many sort of portion on it, I would have been all in. If I get to be a giant dragon and get to try to eat people, that's what I want in life, okay? I just want to be a giant dragon. I want my little pile of gold. I want to eat people sometimes. I want to capture myself a prince or a princess, like whatever. Like, would you allow me to capture you for dragoning purposes? Probably. I mean, it's Friday. I don't really have plans for this weekend, so why not? If you can't identify the monster in your group, it's you. Yeah, it's funny because the other day we were playing Borderlands and I was like, run, run. And she's like, why do you get to decide when we run? I'm like, because I'm the one yelling. So, yeah, it could be me. I could be that monster in the board game group. But I've learned to like sometimes just sit on my hands and be like, what would you like to do for your turn? I am here to offer no input because I have strong opinions about what you should do in this cooperative game, but I will keep them to myself. You're very good about that. Very good. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Kickstarter journey with all of you. And thank you so much for like hanging out with us and everything. We really appreciate it. We missed all of you. Like it's been... Most of you. No, I've missed everybody. I love talking to all of you a lot. Next week, we have a bunch of cool stuff planned. So next week, we have Steampunk Rally Fusion on Tuesday. We have on Thursday... Merchant's Cove on Thursday. We're going to be doing stuff with a new Renegade game, My Father's Work, I believe it's called. It's about like carrying on an evil scientist, mad scientist type stuff. I'm excited. I haven't seen the game yet. Like, I'm going to go pick it up. It's going to be... I can already feel like it's going to be amazing. So we're going to see how all that goes. And what else? Oh, our Kickstarter show, of course, is going to be next week. So since we are all super like, oh, our burritos, are we not spending them? Good call, Jim. Thank you. For me? Can you get our burritos? We gotta get the burrito. I can get one of them. Oh, Thank you. The other one will break my arm. Nope, I can't get it. I can't get it. Ugh. Okay. We have It's a Wonderful Kingdom, Canvas, Reflections, and Reprint, Marvel United X-Men, Monster Hunter World. Chat, what are you spending your burritos on? If you could pick just one, even if it's not the one that we have talked about today, let us know in the comments below if you're listening to this after the live business. If you're listening to it with the live business, let us know right now. Which one are you gonna pick, Doctor? It's a Wonderful Kingdom. It's a Wonderful Kingdom. I think that's the one I would play. Most excited out of this week's. I think you know what you're gonna. I'm gonna say. I think you know what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I do. Canvas. Why does it have to be this way? Why does it have to be this way? I really want Canvas so badly. I still really Sometimes want whenever we do this show, I realize like your number one pick is like the one that I'm like, why? I just want Canvas. You know what though? Game Boy Geek said you could borrow it. And I will make you this deal. If we play it. And you like it? Can I get it? Yeah. Duh. Yeah. Duh. My wallet is still hurting from Robinson Crusoe Deluxe. Yeah. And V Commandos. I totally get you, Kabuki Kid. That's fair. It's that time of year with all the big Kickstarters, you know? It's just the Canvas expansion for Patrick. Andrew says Marvel X-Men. Joe says Kingdom for me too. Let's see here. And Eric says burritos. Gonna have some burritos. Hidden Leaders, Transmissions,
Oh,
Legends
yeah.
of the Void, Seven Moons, Marvel X-Men.
Those are good choices, Studio Lanniston. Monster Hunter plus Hidden Leaders for me, says Only Sable. Let's see here. Do not kickstart burritos. They will not be fresh when you get them. That is fair.
And
That is
Battlecry
fair.
is just setting his burrito on fire, which is his way.
That's how you do it. That's how Battlecry does it. Before in life and after life. That's how Battlecry is going to do it.
When in doubt, fire.
If you want to hang out with us and the pack, make sure to check out some of the links below. We have Discord. You can like and subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notified whenever we go live, so you can come back and join us on our regular streams that we have all week. And what else? Am I missing anything else?
Check out our Patreon if you like the show, of course.
That's right.
That's how we pay for this show.
Yeah, that's right. All of you sponsor this particular show, so none of our comments are filtered by anybody. It's like all of our comments are real legit comments because we're not doing business with anybody for this. I won't allow it. Won't allow it. This is just between you out there and us right here, okay? The Disco Discord party, absolutely. What do you think of Legends of the Void? Ooh, we're going to have to get back to you on that one. I want to take a good look at it. Since I have been sick for the last few weeks, I have not been on Kickstarter a whole lot.
Most of these games on this list were like going to be on last week's list. So
Right.
Of course, I had in Monster Hunter.
That's right, absolutely. Turns off the beacon. Aww.
No, Fatal,
so
huh?
sad.
He'll be back.
Fatal. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. You're all super awesome out there. We really appreciate you hanging out with us, and we will see all of you next week. Bye.
Bye.